Okay, this is when the strangeness begins. A woman with initials that no one had ever heard of in an abrupt declaration. DL claims to be the biological mother of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's children, Archie and Lilith. She asserted that she wasn't merely an anonymous egg transporter or donor. She claims that she was the full-fledged secret surrogate for both pregnancies. And she is now speaking up and bringing receipts. We are discussing financial transactions, hospital records, apparently NDAs that were signed and sealed back in late 2018. She states, exact words, "I was promised privacy and compensation. Rather, I was removed from the story." She is not stating these things from a fuzzy silhouette. Instead, she displays a composed, unflinching face as though she has been waiting for this moment all along. And you know what? People are paying attention because for years now, there has been videos of Meghan's baby bump moving in odd ways. Like folding when she sat down or mysteriously changing size within days have gone viral. At the time, people called this nonsense, conspiracy talk. But let's imagine that those old videos are suddenly receiving millions of new views. Go back here. DL is right. This is about the royal line of succession and two children who were introduced to the world under utterly false pretenses, with the palace, media, and even Prince Harry complicit, or worse, helping to arrange it. It's not just about Meghan possibly fabricating a pregnancy for show. Harry in particular is under fire. At first, some people believed that he was just another victim of Meghan's public relations campaign. But after this woman's allegations surfaced, that argument is no longer credible. If he was involved from the beginning, if he knew the pregnancies were staged and still consented, then he's not a passive bystander. Rather, he's a architect recalls how a strange video of Harry standing in front of a stable, smiling, and announcing the baby's arrival was used to announce Archie's birth. At the time, there was no press at the hospital or a photo opportunity on the hospital steps like Kate and William did with their children. This alone raised eyebrows. But now, it feels much more suspicious now that everything is coming to light. Why wasn't the hospital name verified? Why wasn't the media there? It all seemed like a well-planned performance. Then came the birth certificate issue. When it was eventually made public, people noticed something strange. Meghan's full legal name, Rachel Meghan Markle, had been deleted. And Her Royal Highness took its place. In light of DL's allegations, some believe the name was removed to avoid legal issues because listing Meghan as the birth mother could have been interpreted as falsifying a legal document. However, the palace claimed it was a clerical update, and Meghan said it was done without her consent. The legal team for Meghan and Harry is reportedly working overtime behind closed doors, allegedly threatening media outlets and frantically trying to contain the narrative. But when someone says they're ready to do a DNA test and you're the one threatening the media, there has been no denial, press conference, or clear-cut statement shutting this woman down. Lawsuits rather than coming forward with evidence, which doesn't exactly exude confidence. So here we are. The woman claims to have carried both royal children, and she has all the necessary paperwork and details, and she isn't backing down. Meanwhile, Meghan and Harry are completely silent, and that silence is growing louder every day. Film about how everything is falling apart. According to the anonymous surrogate DL, she was hired by a California-based agency and maintained complete seclusion for both pregnancies, no friends, family, or outside contact in an effort to prevent rumors and leaks. Meghan's team, she adds, took care of all medical matters, arrangements for housing, and even psychological support. But they failed to address her silence, which she says was temporary. She claims that after battling postpartum preeclampsia, a dangerous condition that involves high blood pressure and possible organ damage, she felt abandoned after giving birth and received little follow-up care. In a private interview, she told a journalist, "I was a vessel to them." At that point, she began gathering all of the documents, including texts, appointment logs, and even payment receipts. If this is true, her paper trail could be explosive. the press is starting to circle cautiously, not tabloids, mainstream outlets. And legal teams from major networks are reportedly, while online forums are overflowing with amateur investigators who are evaluating the risks of reporting this story more aggressively. Many are unearthing old footage and inconsistencies from Meghan's pregnancy period. Some of the footage is difficult to ignore, such as a 2019 appearance in which Meghan bends down and her baby bump clearly collapses inwards, initially disregarded as a clothing wrinkle. It is now being viewed in a whole different light after being repeated frame by skeptics. Harry's closest circle isn't keeping quiet either, according to people close to the Duke, who has been acting erratic, attacking aides, and avoiding his regular activities. According to several insiders, he hardly sleeps. He's paranoid about who knew what and when. According to a former employee who claimed he's unraveling, he's caught in a lie he thought he could control. According to another, Harry has begun to wonder if Meghan's team told him the whole truth during the first arrangement. But Meghan is sticking out of view. No podcast episodes or Instagram posts. The silence is deafening because there are no product launches for someone who is so accustomed to controlling the narrative. According to those familiar with her brand operations, her PR firm has not made any official denials. And a number of high-profile partnerships are currently being examined internally due to legal pressure. Ratcheting up as well, the catch is that DL says she welcomes legal action and has even offered to testify under oath and submit to DNA testing as long as it's done by an impartial third party. There are rumors that Meghan and Harry's lawyers have sent cease and desist letters to several outlets. Considering interviews with DL, people are curious as to what exactly she knows that gives her such courage. And this isn't just a gossip story. Anymore, it's beginning to touch on constitutional issues, according to reports. British constitutional advisors are reassessing the legality of the children's royal line status since, well, a surrogate. The Queen's former press secretary even said in a radio interview that this would be a first, and if true, it could raise significant questions about legitimacy and title. This is a serious problem that the palace has never had to deal with before, especially if royal protocol demands transparency for succession legitimacy. Rights, although surrogacy is neither illegal nor dishonorable, concealing it, particularly in a royal setting, could be viewed as dishonest to the public and the institution itself. As the public begins to realize the gravity of this, even devoted supporters are coming up to back. Social media polls reveal that trust in the Sussexes has fallen to an all-time low, undermining the narrative of independence and victimhood that they have painstakingly built over the years. Meghan and Harry were once praised as the contemporary, approachable royals who shattered the mold, but it is now impossible to conceal the pressure behind closed doors. According to those close to them, they are at their breaking point, and the tension is unbearable. Meghan is reportedly angry not only at the surrogate for coming forward, but also at Harry for not stopping it before it got out of hand. She allegedly feels that Harry's hesitation gave the story momentum, and Harry feels cornered by the media frenzy as well. However, because of the potential for everything he constructed outside of the royal family to collapse, sources say the couple is sleeping in separate rooms and hardly communicating, and staff has been reduced to a minimum. Their Monaceto mansion, which was once characterized as a tranquil haven, is now teeming with suspicion and hushed arguments. Meghan's attention has apparently changed to safeguarding her commercial pursuits. Sponsors are quietly pulling out of her lifestyle company, which sells everything from wine to skincare products. No one wants to be caught in the middle of a ticking PR time bomb, an insider stated. The legal side is as ugly, with their lawyers working around the clock and not only threatening media outlets, but they've had little success so far in stopping DL from doing interviews on American television. Rumor has it that at least 2 major networks have already pre-recorded segments with DL and are simply awaiting the legal process to be finished. Once the footage airs, the entire story could change forever, which is the most important thing. The absence of a strong denial is startling to many. Over the years, Meghan has been accused of innumerable things, and she has always responded with a statement, lawsuit, interview, or even a well-curated social media post. However, this time there is nothing but silence, and the void is being filled by unending rumors and silence in the court of public opinion. The possibility that children were brought into the royal bloodline under false pretenses isn't just a PR nightmare. There are actual legal issues involved. The royal institution, which has long distanced itself from the Sussex drama, is reportedly keeping a close eye on the situation. The palace has never before had to give serious thought to the following issues. Can titles like prince and princess apply to children born through undisclosed surrogacy? Can they stay in the line of succession if royal birth protocol wasn't followed? Senior advisors are reportedly consulting constitutional scholars and legal historians on these issues. To investigate their choices, a quiet examination is allegedly in progress, but a public investigation is still improbable. It turns out that the Sussexes broke royal procedure, or worse, deliberately misled the monarchy. There might be severe repercussions, such as the revocation of their titles, or the formal cutting of any remaining royal relations. Equally disturbing is the way public perception is changing. Podcasts that earlier commended Meghan's advocacy work are deleting older programs, and celebrities who once supported the pair are now becoming silent. Once supportive social media pages are now overflowing with comments calling for accountability, transparency, and the truth. The fairy tale's fantasy is crumbling, and people aren't ignoring a couple who base their post-royal lives on genuineness. This is a sad time. Not only is there reputational harm, but there is existential harm as well. How can they be trusted again if the public thinks they misled about something so important? What began as rumors of a strange birth certificate and a moon bump has grown into one of the most significant disputes the contemporary monarchy has encountered. What once appeared to be freedom is now beginning to appear to be a lot similar to fiction.